There is a man in her life right now who has never once begged for her attention. He doesn't double text. He doesn't over-explain himself. He doesn't fill every silence with words. And she thinks about him constantly. Not the loudest man in the room, not the one trying hardest to impress her. The quiet one. And if you don't understand why, you are missing one of the most powerful psychological forces in all of human attraction. Today, I'm going to explain exactly what is happening inside a woman's brain when a man chooses silence over noise. And I promise you, by the end of this, you will never see quiet confidence the same way again. My name is Cindy Carter, and on this channel we talk about the real psychology behind attraction. Not surface-level tips, not recycled dating advice, but the deep neurological and behavioral science that actually explains why women feel what they feel. And this topic, nobody is being honest about it. Because the truth is uncomfortable for most men. Because it means the more you talk, the more you explain, the more you chase validation through words, the less attractive you become. Not because women are cruel, because of how the brain is wired. Here is something that should stop you cold. A 2019 study from the University of Virginia found that people rated individuals as significantly more attractive and intelligent when they spoke less and listened more during initial interactions. Less talking, more attraction. That is not a coincidence. That is neuroscience. When a man speaks constantly, her brain processes him. It files him away. It understands him. But when a man stays measured, when he chooses his words carefully and lets silence breathe between them, her brain cannot complete the picture. And an incomplete picture does something extraordinary. It creates obsession. Psychologists call this the information gap theory, first introduced by researcher George Lowenstein at Carnegie Mellon. When the brain senses a gap between what it knows and what it wants to know, it becomes consumed by the need to fill that gap. Silence creates the gap. She fills it with curiosity. Curiosity becomes attraction, and she has no idea it is even happening. Here is what most men do not understand. Every time you over-explain yourself, every time you rush to justify your behavior, every time you nervously fill a pause in conversation, you are sending her a signal. The signal says, I need your approval to feel okay about myself. And a woman's nervous system reads that signal immediately, even when her conscious mind does not register it. Contrast that with a man who pauses before he responds. A man who lets her words land before he speaks. A man who is comfortable in the space between sentences. That man is communicating something completely different. He is saying, without a single word, I do not need you to validate me. I am fine with myself either way, and that level of inner security is one of the rarest things a woman will ever encounter. Psychologist Dr. Albert Mehrabian's research on communication found that the emotional impact of what you say has almost nothing to do with the words themselves. It is about presence, tone, and energy. Silence, used correctly, carries more emotional weight than 100 perfectly chosen sentences. So here is what I actually do differently starting today. When she says something, do not respond immediately. Let her words sit for 2 or 3 full seconds. Not because you are playing a game, but because you are actually processing what she said. That small pause communicates that what she said mattered enough to think about. Most men respond before she even finishes her sentence. They are so busy constructing their reply that they never actually hear her. And she feels that. She may not say it, but she feels it. The second shift is this. Stop explaining your decisions to people who did not ask. When you stop over-justifying yourself, you stop performing. And when you stop performing, you become real. And real is magnetic in a world full of men trying too hard to be impressive. The man who makes her think about him at 2 a.m. is not the one who said the most. He is the one who said exactly enough. He is the one who made her feel heard without drowning her in words. He is the one whose silence felt like strength, not emptiness. That man is not a mystery. He is just someone who finally stopped talking long enough to become interesting. If this shifted something for you, like this video and subscribe, because next week we go even deeper into the psychology of what makes a man truly unforgettable.